Every second, millions of terabytes of data flood the global network. This space operates as a high-velocity financial market, where the currency traded is human attention. Current digital platforms map our behavior to a rigid narrative architecture, guiding clicks and shares toward predetermined paths rather than organic interests. The core assets in this market are tropes. These are predictable, recurring narrative patterns used to reliably extract our time and emotion. Storytellers have long used these patterns to captivate audiences. For example, the historical legend of the search for the Incan Temple of the Sun provides a ready-made structure for adventure. The hidden treasure trope works by establishing a specific object of desire, like this Incan mask, creating a psychological pull that keeps viewers engaged. Whether the hook is a 16th century gold mask or the payoff of a viral post, the underlying psychological mechanism remains the same. These attention-grabbing frameworks are ancient evolutionary hooks, now being mass-produced for the digital age. Tales of guardian black dogs appeared in English folklore for centuries. These stories of spectral dogs protecting travelers in dark forests were effective because they triggered universal feelings of loyalty and safety. Modern social media uses the same logic in puppy rescue videos. Creators follow a strict checklist: a vulnerable subject, imminent danger, and a heroic intervention to guarantee a viral response. Like the stone foundations of the Coricancha ruins, these ancestral story structures provide a stable base for contemporary digital content. Optimizing these ancient patterns for a digital algorithm turns shared cultural tradition into a repeatable, high-yield asset for capturing engagement. To measure this economy, we have to look at the work of data scientists. They use natural language processing to mathematically map the internet's most frequent narrative patterns. Research has identified 9 core tropes that dominate short-form text media, serving as the primary sectors of the attention market. The skepticism towards authority trope signals that experts are failing, while wicked fairness highlights perceived double standards between groups. The hidden motives trope assigns secret, malicious agendas to prominent public figures, framing complex global issues as personal conspiracies. Skepticism towards authority frequently targets political leaders. By framing policy shifts as incompetence or deception, the trope drives engagement through institutional distrust. Recognizing these patterns allows us to view online content as a series of deliberate maneuvers to capture specific demographics. The defend the weak trope is particularly effective at reframing complex policy debates as moral confrontations. In the vaccine debate, this framework is often used to move the conversation away from clinical data, focusing instead on the highly emotional imagery of protecting our children. Immigration discourse employs similar mechanics. High-impact imagery of migrant crossings are rapidly processed into digital networks to trigger hidden motives or scapegoat narratives. These narratives frequently rely on wicked fairness, using inflammatory comparisons of how different groups are treated to generate a sense of systemic injustice. These tropes are selected specifically to bypass deliberate thought, ensuring a maximum return on user outrage. Large language models like BERT and Llama 3 audit social media text, assigning probability scores to identify narrative patterns. But they risk overfitting, flagging a trope based on a single word like forced, without understanding the broader context. As detection methods improve, creators use the same AI technology to generate content that slips past scanning grids, while still delivering the intended emotional hook. Flooding the information ecosystem with these hyper-optimized tropes eventually devalues digital communication, as the pursuit of engagement outweighs the need for accuracy. Automated detection has clear limits, meaning the responsibility for evaluating information ultimately rests with the individual's critical judgment. Narrative literacy is the ability to see the structural skeleton of a trope beneath the emotional surface of an online post. By identifying the formula, a user can transition from a passive consumer of emotional hooks to an active auditor of the digital landscape. The ultimate safeguard lies in the individual's refusal to buy into these predictable, mass-produced narratives. In a market built entirely on your attention, your literacy is the only currency you truly control. The digital infrastructure of the attention empire will continue to expand. How you choose to navigate it will determine the value of your attention.